Welcome. You're here because, well, you want to get straight to the good stuff, right? To grab that real, useful knowledge without wading through everything.
Exactly. And you've handed us a real cornerstone text to dig into today.
We have Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. So think of us as your guides, helping you navigate this classic. Our mission for this deep dive is pretty straightforward. Pull out those core ideas about, personal and financial success that you can actually use, like starting now.
Absolutely. And, while the title shouts Grow Rich, the book itself, it's really a much bigger philosophy for life, isn't it?
It really is.
We're going to touch on the power of your thoughts, definitely, but also desire, faith, why specific knowledge matters, imagination.
And tackling those fears that, let's face it, can stop us in our tracks.
It's a whole mindset,
Yeah.
a really comprehensive approach to achieving things. We promise some surprising bits and pieces and definitely things you can put into action. No overwhelm, just insight.
Okay, let's jump right in. Hill starts at, well, the very beginning, thoughts and desire. He basically says everything starts with an idea. Sounds almost too simple.
It does, but there's a catch, isn't there? It's not just any random thought that pops into your head.
Right.
He emphasizes it needs a definite purpose. And more than that, a burning desire. That's the fuel.
So, like, wanting to be wealthy is one thing, but knowing exactly how much and wanting it so bad it keeps you up at night,
Wrong.
that's different.
Totally different. That's what actually gets things moving. He uses that story about Edwin Barnes, the guy who wanted to work with Thomas Edison.
Oh, yeah. Great story. He just showed up, didn't he? With basically nothing but this absolute conviction.
Exactly. No money, didn't even know Edison personally,
Mm-hmm.
but he had this unshakable desire.
And Edison apparently saw it. He said something like, when someone wants something so badly, they'll bet their whole future on it.
They're almost guaranteed to win. It's that level of commitment.
Which brings up a crucial point for you listening. Setbacks. Temporary defeat. It's so easy to quit then.
So easy. But Hill insists that's often just part of the process. It's not the end unless you decide it is. And he makes this really bold claim
Which is?
That poverty and riches, they both stem directly from our thoughts. Our own thinking patterns create our reality, our limitations often included.
Okay, so it's about actively cultivating that desire, not just hoping. He gives those 6 specific steps, doesn't he?
He does. Very practical. It's not vague at all. First, fix the exact amount of money you want. Be precise.
Not just more money.
Nope. Then figure out exactly what you'll give in return. Value for value. It's a transaction.
Makes sense. Then set a definite date, a deadline.
Crucial. And create a definite plan to get it. And maybe most importantly, start now. Take that first step immediately.
Even if the plan isn't perfect yet.
Especially if it isn't perfect. Action creates momentum. Then write it all down, the amount, the date, the plan, what you'll give.
And the final step.
Read that written statement out loud, twice a day, morning and at night. And as you read it, you need to see, feel, and believe yourself already having achieved it. Wow, that's intense. It's really about programming your subconscious, isn't it? Creating an obsession, almost.
You could call it that, a positive obsession. He'll believe that intense focus, that visualization, is incredibly powerful. He looked at history, great fortunes.
They all started with that. Dreaming, hoping, desiring, planning.
Visualizing,
Yeah.
exactly. It sets the stage. It creates the right mental soil, so to speak.
Which leads nicely into the next bit, actively shaping that mental soil, cultivating the mind.
Right. And the first element there is faith.
He calls faith the head chemist of the mind. I love that phrase.
It's evocative, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he sees it not just as belief, but as a state of mind you can actually develop.
How?
Through autosuggestion, basically repeating affirmations, telling yourself you can achieve your goal, and crucially, mixing those thoughts with strong emotion, positive emotion.
Oh, it's not necessarily religious faith he's talking about.
Not exclusively. It's more about a deep, unwavering belief in yourself and your ability to reach your desire. Autosuggestion is the tool, the bridge between your conscious goal and your subconscious mind, which drives your actions.
You have to consciously feed it the right stuff. Build those positive thought habits. Persistently.
It takes consistent effort, yes. It's not a one-time thing,
Okay, so faith is the mindset. Then comes specialized knowledge.
which makes sense. Desire and faith are great, but you need the know-how.
But he clarifies educated, doesn't he? It's not just about having degrees or memorizing facts.
No, not at all. Being truly educated, in Hill's view, means developing your ability to acquire the knowledge you need when you need it, and then organizing it into a practical plan.
So you don't have to know everything yourself.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Knowing where to get the knowledge or who has it and how to use it effectively. That's the real power, like building a team.
Which sounds a bit like his mastermind idea later on. But before that, imagination.
Ah, yes. The workshop of the mind. Another great metaphor.
He splits it in two, right? Synthetic and creative.
Synthetic is basically rearranging existing ideas, concepts, plans into new combinations. Most invention probably falls here.
Like putting existing technologies together in a new way.
Exactly. Creative imagination, though, that's different. That's where you get hunches, inspirations, seemingly out of the blue, connecting to infinite intelligence, as Hill puts it.
And he thinks this creative part gets stronger with use.
Yes, absolutely. Especially when linked to that burning desire and definite purpose. It's like focusing your mental energy unlocks it.
Okay, so we have desire, faith, knowledge, imagination. Now, the mastermind. What's the core idea there?
It's fundamentally about collaboration, forming alliances, partnerships with people whose knowledge and abilities support your definite purpose.
So it's not just networking, it's a coordinated effort.
Very coordinated. It requires harmony, trust, and a shared goal, even if individual motives differ slightly. It's about the synergy, the idea that two minds working together harmoniously can achieve more than the sum of their individual parts.
Yeah.
You tap into shared knowledge, experience.
And you kind of absorb the drive and habits of the people you ally with.
That's a big part of it. Choose your allies carefully.
Right. So you've done all this mental prep work, built your team, but nothing happens without action.
Precisely. And this is where decisiveness comes in.
Hill is very strong on this. Make decisions quickly and change them slowly, if at all.
Yeah, he contrasts this sharply with people who don't succeed. They tend to dither, procrastinate, and get easily swayed by other people's opinions.
Lacking that inner conviction.
Right. Successful people, according to Hill, know their own mind and trust their judgment once a decision is made based on their plan.
And that decision needs a plan. Organized planning.
The bridge. It's how you turn the intangible desire into tangible reality. You need practical steps.
And this is where the mastermind group really helps, right? Planning together.
Absolutely. Brainstorming, getting feedback, leveraging different expertise. But Hill also stresses, plans aren't set in stone. You need to be adaptable.
Because you will face setbacks, temporary defeats.
Guaranteed. And when a plan fails, it doesn't mean the goal is wrong. It just means the plan needs fixing. You need a new approach.
Which requires persistence.
The absolute linchpin. Without persistence, that initial desire just fizzles out at the first hurdle.
He has an amazing line. Every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent advantage.
Such a powerful reframe. It changes failure from an endpoint to a learning opportunity. Find the feed.
And he gives steps for building persistence too, doesn't he?
4 key things. Definite purpose, backed by burning desire, knowing why you're persisting. A definite plan, continuously acted upon. A mind closed tightly against negativity from others or yourself.
And
Yeah,
the Mastermind Alliance. Friendly support.
exactly. They reinforce each other. Purpose fuels planning, negativity undermines it, the alliance bolsters it.
Then he goes into something. Wow, pretty intriguing. Sex transmutation.
Yes. It sounds a bit unusual maybe, but the core idea is about energy. Sexual energy is incredibly powerful, arguably one of the strongest human drives.
So it's not about suppression.
No, it's about redirection. Transmuting, channeling that intense energy and passion away from purely physical expression into other creative or ambitious pursuits, like fueling your drive for financial success or artistic creation.
He believed many highly successful people consciously or unconsciously did this.
He did. He saw it as a source of charisma, creativity, persistence, raw power when harnessed properly. Think of it broadly as channeling intense passion.
Okay. Now, underlying all of this is the subconscious mind.
The engine room, maybe? Hill sees it as this vast database, constantly recording the thoughts you feed your conscious mind. It doesn't filter, it just accepts.
And it works automatically.
Constantly,
Mhm.
day and night. And crucially, you can consciously influence what goes in through auto-suggestion, through the dominant thoughts you hold, especially thoughts mixed with strong emotion, good or bad.
Which brings us directly to the bad. The 6 ghosts of fear.
Yeah, the major roadblocks, the things that sabotage all those positive principles if you let them.
What are they again? Fear of?
Poverty,
Poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love.
old age, and death. Pretty fundamental fears.
Big ones. And he argues they're just states of mind.
States of mind.
Yeah.
How does he suggest tackling them? Does he give symptoms?
Oh, yeah. For fear of poverty, he mentions symptoms like indifference, doubt, worry, procrastination. Fear of criticism shows up as shyness, lack of initiative, self-consciousness.
And the cure? Is it just don't be afraid?
Huh, if only. No, it's about conscious counteraction through thought control. For poverty, deciding you can manage with what you have, focusing on abundance, not lack. For criticism, deciding that other people's opinions don't define your worth, not letting that fear paralyze you.
So for each fear, there's a mental shift, a decision to make.
Exactly. And it's about building what he calls a mental wall of immunity.
How do you build that wall? By being self-aware. Know which fears affect you most. Be vigilant about negative people. They can drag you down. Seek out positive influences. Your mastermind group helps here. Don't borrow trouble or anticipate problems. And just consciously close your mind to negative thoughts, suggestions.
It really all comes back to controlling your own mind, doesn't it?
That's the core message, really. The power is internal. Your ability to achieve, financially or otherwise, it starts and ends with how you manage your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, and then apply these principles consistently.
So wrapping this up, this dive into Think and Grow Rich, it's given us a solid framework. We've pulled out those key actionable ideas. It's clearly way more than just how to get rich.
Absolutely. It's a whole philosophy for purposeful living driven by mindset.
Which leads to a really important question for you listening. We've covered a lot: desire, faith, planning, persistence, overcoming fear.
Think about it. Which one of these ideas really hits home for you right now, where you are in your life, with your goals?
And maybe more pointedly, what's one small thing, one tiny action you could take today to start putting that specific principle into practice?
Because this conversation, this deep dive, it's really just a starting point, isn't it? We really hope you'll go back to the book, reflect on these ideas more deeply.
Definitely. Consider this the kickoff. Here's to you grabbing the reins of your own mind and charting your course to, well, whatever success looks like for you.